Yes, of course, welcome to episode 4 of STS. I'm not referring to it by its actual name. I refuse, out of, like, stubbornness. And you two can't make me. No, in fact, I demand that we change the name. I say that we come up with a better name.
Come on,
it's starting to irritate me. It's, we'll start calling it, like, Sling the Poop instead, or something terrible. So, of course, you know who I am, and with me, as always, is Fluke and Kel hiding somewhere in the background. Guys, say hi.
Soup.
Hello.
Soup. Speaking of soup, how was your field? Before we go anywhere, you were away for like an entire week.
Yeah, and we pitched the tent. It was great, man. Got there, the visor on, sunglasses. We pitched the tent, and literally, I took those pictures, uploaded those pictures onto Twitter, and it started raining. That was it. Didn't stop raining. It was like,
nice.
No, well, screw this. I'm going home. We'd been there. It was like a week. Everything was piss wet. So it was like, no.
Yeah, Katie told me that your tent leaked as well.
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much leaked as the place we were camping was so high up that it was technically in the cloud level at times. So inside the tent was just because it was, it's a canvas sheet. Well, it's not. It's a thin membrane plastic.
Yeah.
It's a canvas sheet in a very humid atmosphere. So condensation on the inside is incredible, and it starts dripping everywhere. And oh man.
Awesome.
That sounds unpleasant.
Not so much, yeah. Not so much on the awesome.
So, before you went,
next year will be better. That's all I'm saying.
Before you went away, we managed to do On Second Thought for Resident Evil, and you kind of didn't like that too much, did you?
No, wasn't impressed at all.
No.
Yeah.
Go on. Do you want to say anything more on it before we move on?
There's nothing really much I can say. I could sit here and rant for like how long have we got? But
a while.
Yeah, I could sit here and rant all of our time away on how bad that multiplayer was, but I expected it from seeing the.
What a disappointment. Do you want to just leave it at that?
Total and utter disappointment. If anybody is still in any kind of, and ahhing whether or not to buy it, just don't, alright? Don't waste your chuffing money. Spend it on something better like, I don't know, drink or drugs or something.
Don't advocate those. Spend it on getting kicked in the groin.
That would be a far better preference. Go downtown and just pay somebody to kick you as hard as they can. Right in the nuts.
Okay, but is the problem with it the fact that it's just a bad console port? Like, would it be good on a console?
No, it's too flawed, I feel. I feel that a lot of the bugs wouldn't be there, but yeah, anyway, we shouldn't discuss too much of that, but it's just a flawed game. It's not polished enough. It feels like a beta.
It was pushed out, yeah. It was like, right,
pushed out too early. So, Kel, what about you? What did you get up to in the past week?
In the past week, well, in terms of videos that I uploaded, I fell behind on the schedule for when I upload Final Fantasy, Minecraft, and Space Marine, so 3 of them ended up getting pushed out in one day.
I saw that and I slapped you for it.
You did. It still kind of stings a bit, but not ideal, but I didn't want to keep people waiting for too long as I caught up.
That's fair. And you're back on schedule now, though, yeah?
I'm back on schedule now. Tomorrow... No.
Yes?
Yeah, either today or tomorrow there'll be a Kerbal Space Program video going up, and I'm also taking a look at an Xbox Live arcade game called Bang Bang Racing. It's basically Micro Machines, which... I'm psyched for.
Is that it? Just, it's basically Micro Machines. Not like Micro Machines on crack or Micro Machines in space. Just, it's basically Micro Machines.
Well, I mean, if you look at all the different Micro Machines games, I mean, I grew up playing Micro Machines 95 and Micro Machines Military on the Mega Drive.
I grew up playing them on the Game Boy. Was there one on the Game Boy?
On the Mega Drive. Me and my brother used to have
the Mega Drive one.
That's so much
awesome. Because
I swear there was one on the Game Boy.
It had extra controller ports on the top of the cartridge for plugging 2 more controllers in. So you could actually have 4 controllers instead of sharing them like on the SNES version.
Actually, Bang Bang Racing is 4-player local as well, which is I'm looking forward to trying it out if I can grab some people.
Oh dear. Grab a lunch and what's his name? The other guy that you made scream in Terraria. Jackal?
Yeah, Jackal. He encountered the Dungeon Guardian without knowing what was going to happen.
Fair enough. So what else gaming-wise, quickly, before we move on? What else have you been up to gaming-wise? Just Diablo and stuff?
Yeah, mostly Diablo. I'm actually getting back into Final Fantasy 14 because they showed some things at E3 that I'm fairly looking forward to. The 2.0 patch is still on the way, and that's just going to change the entire game, so I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of that.
Fair enough, fair enough. That sounds pretty awesome.
What about you, Dave? What have you been up to?
Ooh,
well, because I've been away.
yeah, well, as you know, I actually had to take a few days off due to unfortunate problems that came up.
Yeah.
But managed to get the Zytron 2 video out with me, and I grabbed Jay as it had local co-op, and that was fantastic. Crazy acid trip geometry wars style shooter thing is the only real way that I can think of describing it.
That did look very awesome. But
then
didn't you also get a press copy of a game, which was a pretty big deal for Elden 3 as a whole?
I can hear you grinning while you say that. It's like you can't even ask subtly.
Nope.
Yeah, so I actually managed to get hold of our first press copy through some fantastic means, and I'm not going to mention their names.
Says
yeah,
I can hear the smug shiny.
I know, right? This is fantastic. But no, it gets even better. So I managed to do our first press copy of Tiny and Big in Grandpa's Leftovers, and it was a fantastic game. And I loved it, and the physics is brilliant. I really think Fluke should take a look at it, because I think he'd love it, being able to just cut everything up. But that went out yesterday. It's already at over 7,000 views, so it seems to have gone down really well, and I'm getting tons of compliments from it. And I even got phoned this morning on Skype, and had a couple of higher-up people telling me that they really loved the video, which even made my day even better. Nice. So that was fantastic.
Good work, huh?
Yeah, it's good. Plus, also, it's really nice to take a look at some of the indie titles. I mean, I know E3 is going on at the moment, and we're going to discuss that quickly in a few moments, but it's nice to look at the indie titles and actually, show them some love, because E3 at the moment with all the big AAAs,
well,
it's nice
to be fair, you know me, I'm much more a fan of the smaller companies. They tend to do better games.
We're not going to let you rant on that one. Not letting you rant on that one at all.
I know, we'll be here all day.
Yes, so moving on to E3. Come on then, what have you seen from E3 so far that impressed you or made you want to take a look at it more, or that you can't wait to see, or you thought was just terrible?
Well, like I said, I'm not normally a big follower of massive AAA titles because they're normally just bland and disappointing. But actually the new Tomb Raider game caught my eye. I don't know why either. I can't really put my finger on it because Tomb Raider's never been a franchise I've ever been a fan of. I don't know why. It's just never really been a PlayStation fan. I've never been the whole running around with a joypad thing. Never really agreed with me.
I tell you, the one that grabbed my eye that I'm not a fan of the franchise. Well, wasn't really a fan of the franchise. Was the DMC footage.
Yeah.
The DMC reboot looks phenomenal.
I've never played any of the original games myself either, and that did look really nice.
Everyone was complaining they didn't like the idea of this reboot and making him some sort of punk guy and this kind of dirty, gritty look. And then slowly and more people are like, hey, this actually looks kind of cool. And then the E3 trailer and all the information at E3 just blew my mind. It's like, I will be getting this game.
It does look fairly impressive.
I've never even really seen anything of the original game. I've dropped off the radar for a while when the original games were around.
Yeah, so I think I have 3 and 4 on Steam, but never really picked them up. What about you, Kel? Sitting there quietly in the background?
Yeah, I was kind of looking at mostly sequels and reboots as well. Like, Need for Speed Most Wanted is pretty much impossible to ignore because I was a huge fan of that.
Good. And I saw that and it was just like, yep, I nearly put a dent in the underside of my desk.
Is it an Origin game though?
It's I don't believe it is going to be. It's done by Criterion, so I think they're not going to...
I hope not.
I don't think they'll do Origin. They might, which could be the nail in the coffin for me. But
I could see myself getting it.
I've got my force feedback steering wheel here and everything. Massive fan.
But I mean, Burnout Paradise was fantastic, and I really loved the new...
Again, Burnout Paradise, I wasn't a fan of how they just dropped the support for it and just killed the online server and everything.
They did it quite... To be fair, though, you bought it quite a way after release.
I did, but there was no real warning to anybody. And there's still, even quite a ways after, there's still links now are like, oh yeah, buy this in the shop, and you click it and it just errors out. And it's like, it's not even a page saying, no, we've closed this, very sorry. If you do want the content, you can download it here, or it's no longer available, we're very sorry.
Yeah.
Just, there's nothing, but, I mean, it's just a white page. It's like,
Hot Pursuit was from those guys as well, and was brilliant.
Indeed.
Hot Pursuit was fantastic, and I still play it with Surge mentioning his name on here will probably summon him.
Yeah, no, right.
And ended up having like competitions of who could get the fastest time, and it being like hundredths of a second between us.
Serge was the bane of my existence when I was playing that, because he was always just a little bit faster than me.
He's very, very good at racing games.
He is, and it's irritating.
Yeah.
To the nth degree.
We were playing, what was it?
But I really
Skydrift?
can't wait for Most Wanted. That and the new Forza as well. Both look brilliant, and both will cater to both, different sides of my driving persona.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, as well, another one that caught my eye was Dishonored, which looks very like Fear and BioShock put into a blender.
I saw that. I don't really have anything to comment on it. I saw it, but I just kind of was... On the subject of, like, before we move on, did you guys see the Ubisoft conference thing? I saw it. Someone linked it to me. I didn't actually catch it live. Someone linked it to me, and I started watching it, and it was like, why am I watching the MTV Music Awards?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turned into a Just Dance 4 promo, and then all of a sudden Flowrider comes out on stage and starts singing. And it's like, what on earth is going on? And then some weird chick comes out on stage and she starts talking about Just Dance 4 and then talking to Flowrider, and then she's just like, I'm just happy that I got to touch the magic. And it was like, okay. And then it gets even better. Yeah, like, it gets even better though, because she's just, she was going on about how we were going to like be taking a look at Far Cry 3, and that she knew that all of the guys were looking at the girls, and then she's like, and see, I know you girls were looking at the girls too, don't worry, everyone's a little bit gay. And it was just like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah, did you not see that bit? It was fantastic. She was just like, everyone's got a little bit of gay in them, and then like she kept going with her speech as normal, and then just like after the next sentence just burst out laughing. I was just like, everyone knows it's true. And it was like, I'm not sure you can say that at E3, lass.
Yeah, I just turn it off because it was face spam.
Yeah, I don't know how dodgy a ground you're stepping on that one. And then, of course, it went straight into Far Cry 3 and just showing breasts. Like, at 3 in the afternoon with no warning, it was just suddenly like, have some breasts. Bam!
Fair enough.
And then they shot a tiger.
Breasts, shooting tigers, there we go, there's the main audience catered for.
I don't know what to make of that, though. I mean, you've got Flowrider doing Just Dance, but then over with Harmonix, you've got Usher doing Dance Central 3.
Yeah.
But apparently he was involved in the development of...
I'm telling you, man, it's turning into MTV Music Awards. And also, the best thing that I saw regarding the Ubisoft thing, apart from the really awkward moments with Tobuscus being there, which was quite fantastic, was someone tweeted afterwards and was like, hey, Ubisoft, who did you get to write the ending of your conference? BioWare. And it was just like, oh, snap. It's like...
Oh dear.
It's like that's got to be one of the best burns I've seen. But yeah, so anything else to mention about E3 before we wrap this up?
Nothing that comes to mind.
There's
Happy
a
for more
few
Halo.
smaller titles that I'm looking forward to, but we'll mention those later
there
on.
was, what was it?
Speed
Just
up.
it's a shame it was made by Razer. That's all I want to say before
Oh,
I say.
the controller for MechWarrior.
Mech
Yeah,
Warrior.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
following that quite closely, the whole MechWarrior
Yeah.
Online thing. Big fan of the MechWarrior franchise. I'm just disappointed they chose Razer. I wish they'd come with somebody like Thrustmaster. A bit more experience in making proper controllers rather than just, products. But
Yeah,
hey,
you never know.
to be fair, in defence of Piranha partnering with such a big company such as Razer, it can only show good things for the game. There's that much interest in such a large company willing to put that much investment up.
And Piranha may push them to, building a better quality product. You never know. You'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll see.
do
I
not know.
might have to be saving up a great load of pennies.
Well, what they've shown is only a
Sorry, I'm gonna
prototype,
talk
and that
about-
thing took like 5 or 6 months to create, and they're still iterating, so there's going to be more in the future.
It's still a concept, though. That's the other thing. It's like, they did hype it up a lot for something that is just a concept. But like I say, if somebody like Razer's investing, it can only show good things, really.
Well, they always do
So-
that. I mean, I'm still waiting for their fight stick.
Interrupting the both of you now. Kel, what do you got coming up video-wise in the next week? And be quick. Speed these things.
More Final Fantasy, Minecraft, Space Marine, just continuing the series of those. I have the Kerbal Space Program video that I mentioned earlier, and also I'm going to be taking a look at Bang Bang Racing on the Xbox.
Nice. And I believe I'm going to get Fluke to come along and do Max Payne 3 with me at some point, hopefully. Need to take a look at that. Also got, what else? Crater coming out this week, I believe. As well as maybe taking a look at the Game of Thrones RPG. I'm not sure on that one because I know nothing of Game of Thrones. And also, I believe, Resonance. It's a weird little indie game, I think. I think I'm remembering that title correctly. Yes, Resonance. There you go.
Look at that.
Cool.
Like indie games, it's all good.
Yep, it's some puzzle gamey thing. So there you go. With all of those mentioned and us being slightly over time, I will say if you have any questions, queries, or comments, of course, leave them down below. Thank you for watching this, and we will catch you for the next video. Peace.
In a while.
Stay awesome.